in Linwood. Thank you.
Yeah, we keep forgetting that.
Hey there. So I work in Bellevue. I love Bellevue. I was there all day today. But I live in Linwood. I'm going to save my Linwood speech for a Linwood audience, so if you don't mind, this is a GOP audience. Oh, you live in Linwood? Well, we can talk about Linwood. Okay.
You need to talk about Linwood because that's where people in Bellevue,
Listen.
workers in Bellevue live in.
I'm the candidate. I get to talk about whatever I want.
Ooh, right.
But do you live in the city or is it unincorporated?
It's unincorporated.
Okay,
What
well,
about that?
there you go.
I can't even vote for you. So
I think I've had this conversation with you before.
I know.
Right? Is it by Martha Lake that you live?
It's Martha Lake.
See, I remember these
I mean, like, it's a bummer.
So, one of my earliest political memories is a conversation I had with my father. He said, one of these days the Democrats will go so far that people will stop voting for them. Right? I think we can all relate to that.
Right.
In fact, in some sense, that's really the GOP strategy, right? Is that we're going to stand by our principles until one of these days the Democrats will have gone too far and people will stop voting for them, right? And we all believe the Democrats already went that far, 15 years ago or what happened, right? So, we might suspect that it's never going to happen, right? In fact, last year there was a survey done of Seattle, or actually the entire country, and I'm sorry to let you all know this, but Seattle was ranked number 15 in happiness in the entire country, okay? They're not miserable over there. I go to school in Seattle. People love it, right? And even if you don't believe that survey, ask yourself, are people in this region dissatisfied with the Democrats? Does it seem like they are? You'll knock on a door here and there, and they're dissatisfied with the Democrats. Here and there. Those are the exceptions. By and large, they're happy with the representation. So I've thought about this for a while. I've been in politics for a while, and last year, I got into this book called the Book of Daniel, right? And the fun thing about Daniel is that you get to say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego a whole bunch, right? Just rolls off the tongue, right? Those are Daniel's friends, and they were all Hebrews who lived in Babylon, and they all stuck to their Hebrew rituals and customs, but nonetheless, God helped them to learn the ways of the Babylonians, and to learn the culture and the politics and the laws and so forth. And so when it came time for the king to pick a top aide for his court, he picked Daniel because Daniel was 10 times better at the Babylonian customs than any of the other Babylonians that were available. Right? So I think there's an important lesson in this for us because I've seen many of our campaigns on the inside, and for the most part, we just campaign for ourselves. Right? They're like Hebrew campaigns for Hebrews. Right? We need to be campaigning to the Babylonians. Right? We live in Babylon, and we're Hebrews in the analogy. Right? I hear a lot of talk about change coming to the Republican Party, and when I listen for the details, it's just traditional Republican talking points. It's just, let's stand on our principles until finally the Democrats go too far and the voters leave the Democrat Party. Right? Well, as far as I know, I'm the only person in the party who actually has a new, alternative, principled, and conservative vision to offer. And so for that reason, I would be very happy if any of you follow my campaign and support me. I have a website that's coming up. It's up, but we're remodeling it. I have literature if you want some ideas. I'll leave you with one example here. But, it's sort of a cliffhanger.
I'll follow you.
In Linwood, where the police department is having a lecture series, and I've attended it many times, but this time I brought one of my Republican friends with me, right? So after one of the classes, I said to him, aren't the police a lot more liberal than the Republicans are? Right? And he thought about it for me. He's like, yeah, they are. Here's the dirty little secret. Republicans are completely out of touch with law enforcement. Public safety is a huge issue all over the country, but Republicans are trying to implement law enforcement from 20, 30 years ago. Today we have modern policing, which is based on recovery, behavioral health, and we need to lead with these issues. We cannot be out there just saying, oh, the police just need to arrest everybody. That's what we did last year. Public safety was one of the top issues. We ran on it, and we got our butts handed to us. And it's because we're completely out of touch with law enforcement. Go and listen to law enforcement. I'm a huge supporter. I run a Back the Blue group in Snohomish County. In my mind, law enforcement wants us to give them the support that they want. They don't want us advocating for 1990s policing. They don't want us out here saying, oh, Rudy Giuliani in New York City. That's somewhat of a myth. He did what he did, but it's questionable what positive impact did it have. can look into it. So anyway, one more time, Derek Yanish, Linwood City Council. I'm over my time. Thanks everyone for listening.